All right, so our character is bound now to the skeleton, and now we just need to do some rigging. I'm actually not going to really do much of any rigging. I'm just going to do a very simple amount of rigging, and then from there you can decide what you want to do with yours. All I'm really going to do is add a little bit of FK onto one thing just to show you how it works, and this is probably what you're going to want to do for legs. Everything else will just animate right on the joints. So basically the problem is that if I move my guy around, you can see the feet move with it. I need the feet to basically stick on the ground. So what we're going to do is go to skeleton, and you want to go to create IK handle, hit the option box. It's just pop open here. Change this to rotate plane solver. That'll be fine. And then solver enable, blah, 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 and make it sticky. Sticky will just be a little bit easier. All right. And then we have to do this to each leg. So click on the hip right here. And then I'm going to click on, this is where the flat part of the foot is. So this would be like the heel here. Technically the heel's there because it's a bird, but whatever. So we're going to go there to there. And I'm going to do the same thing here, here to here. That looks fine. And then I'm also going to put one just right here, just for fun. Okay, so I'll just, I'm going to hit Y to bring that tool back up. If you hit Y, it just turns the tool back on that you used last. And I'm going to click here to here. And then I'll hit Y. And I'll click here to here. Good. All right. So now we have IK handles that go from here to this hip to the heel, right? And that's what you would want. Now watch when I grab this and move it. Notice, I don't know if you can see it, his legs are staying still, which is what we were after. Okay, great. And if we grab these, we can animate them, you know, moving. Okay, so that's basically what we're after here. Great. Okay, so but this is a little bit hard to grab these handles every time. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna make some controllers. Only going to do it for the legs here. The other thing is too, is that if for some reason your knee's going in a weird direction, we need to fix that as well. So we're just going to make a couple of controllers for the legs, and that's it. So go to create, nerves, primitives, circle. It's going to make a circle. Just move it down to where the foot is. Move it, move it on over. I'm just going to go ahead and scale it down a little, and we'll scale it this way a little bit. Oops, got to move it up. Just try to position it around your foot. Okay, so we're going to go something like that. That looks fine. And I'm just going to duplicate it by hitting Control D and move it over. That looks good. All right. And then the other thing I need is a, so just position however you want. We're going to fix these in a second. The other thing we need are some pole vectors. So right now I can't really move. Well, actually we'll finish this up first and then we'll do the other. So if you were to look at these, if I click on the channel box here, you'll see they have what I call dirty values. So what I want you to do is you can select them both, or you can do one at a time. We'll just have this one selected. And I'm just going to go to modify freeze transformations, and you'll see it'll zero those all out. I'll click on this and I can just hit G because that'll repeat the last action that I just did. Okay. So, or you can just do modify freeze transformations. That's great. And all we're going to do is grab this guy and this guy. You can do one at a time. Let's do one at a time because it's easier. Grab this one. Okay. Then shift select this and hit P. And now that, when I select this, is parented to it. Then select this one. Shift select the curve again and hit P. And now both of them are parented to that curve. It just makes it a little bit easier to work with. So again, same thing here. This time I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to hold shift, select this one. And I'm still holding shift and I'll select this last. Since this is the last thing selected, when I hit P, they'll both be parented to that. And now when I move this, it moves the other leg. And I need to do one more thing on my IK leg here in order to make it work, because right now it currently, there's nothing controlling the knee. There are ways of doing it, but we're going to do what's called the pole vector. So to do that, just go to create and we're going to just make a locator. Locator is just an empty object. So create locator. It's an empty object. It just is like this little star looking thing. It's not anything, honestly, all that special. What I'm going to do is just try to move it roughly in front of the knee. Okay, and then we'll just duplicate it and move this roughly in front of this knee. So we basically have one on either side. I'm going to scale this guy down. Actually, right here we can change. So I'm going to select both of them. And then you see it says local scale. Just change the size of that to like, I don't know, 0.25. They're just too big. That way they're a little bit smaller. Okay, and that's just, I have the channel box on. All right, so what I want to do now is you're going to select this. Select this first. I'm just going to hit Q because it's easier to select things. Then shift select this one. We're not worried about this guy. It's this one. And then just do constraint and pole vector. And you're going to see the knee is going to pop over like that, and that was really weird. Oh, I know why. Okay, so then I'm going to take this and we're going to move it to the other side. We'll go like that. Okay, so because my leg's backwards, if you look, you see how I have 1, 2, 3 joints? Usually you just have a knee and then it ends here, but I actually, I had to go across multiples, which is probably kind of wrong actually, but so I need to put mine back there. So I'm going to do the same thing with this guy. Put this guy also back there on the back of this, which is kind of weird. All right, and I'm going to select them both and just do modify freeze transformations. I just want to make sure they're zeroed out so that way, there we go. And then that will affect that. Okay, so we're going to take this one. I want to just have 0 value. Select this one, and then I'm going to shift select the IK handle, the little brown line here, and then constraint and pull vector. Okay, good. And now when you move these, you'll see it'll move the leg. Now normally, if you have a normal biped, it'll actually just be in the front here. I had to put mine back there, but that's kind of weird, but whatever. So now I just want those to move with these legs here. So I'm going to select this, and then shift select this curve and hit P. Okay, I'm going to select this pole vector, or the pole vector here, the locator. Shift select this and hit P for parent. And now it will move with this as well. So that way, if I'm moving around, that whole thing will move with me. All right. And that's all I'm going to do. So you can apply this kind of thing to anything. You could just make a pole vector, make an IK handle, and then that will allow you to animate, and the legs will stay still when you animate everything else. Just make sure if you move something, you undo it afterwards. And if we want to move a leg in a more natural kind of way, I can do that as well. All right. The rest of this, like his wings, they just flap like this, right? So I would just grab them and go womp, 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 womp. And same thing with like the neck and stuff. But if I want to do, IK handles for some of this, we could. There's other options, but I'm trying to make the simplest rigging possible. Oh, my stomach's getting there. My guy's stuff here is getting a little bit torn. So I'm going to move this in, I think. Let me see, which way is it got to go? Yeah, it's got to go this way. So that's got to go in a little bit. Select this one, go in a little bit. That's a little better. Okay. I'm going to select both of these and just do modify freeze transformations. That way there. You just want to freeze them so that these values, so that if I go here and I want to set it back, I can just zero these out and then it'll go back to its default. That's better. Okay. But I'm going to call that good. So from this point, you should just, save it. Control Shift S. And I'll just save it as the next version. So dumb goose rig 02. All right. And then in the next one, we will animate it.